Class, hello, and welcome to this higher level teaching assistant session on the basics of becoming an HLTA. I will be your tutor, Big Owl. Today, we are going to look at the role of HLTAs, National Occupational Standards. Let's first look at what HLTAs do. Higher level teaching assistants, HLTAs, are professionals that have an increased level of knowledge, skills, training, and comprehension about the needs, development, and the abilities of the children that they support and service. The role of the HLTA is further outlined in the National Agreement, which provides an outline of the contribution and standards for the HLTA, as well as other school support staff that work in education. Amongst other things, the National Agreement reviews the roles of these support staff, the types of training they require, as well as compensations that are ideal for these staff members to perform their roles. Additionally, legislation and regulation requires that support staff do not act or take the place of teachers, and that head teachers have influence on selecting support staff that have the skills, expertise, experience, and knowledge to perform in their role and support the teacher, the children, as well as the school. In contrast, head teachers should refer to the National HLTA professional standards for guidance on selecting HLTAs to meet their needs and support their children. Some of the work and roles that HLTAs perform include responsibilities that are complex and have a level of autonomy compared to other classroom support staff, responsibilities and tasks that are detailed and specific under the teacher or head teacher that is being assisted, working individually with children, working with children in groups or in classes, managing and working with other support staff, guiding other support staff in their tasks and responsibilities, contributing to the creation of education plans and timetables for children, supporting a healthy relationship between parents or carers and teachers and the school.
I'm working as a teaching assistant at the moment, but I want to become an HLTA. What do I need to do?
In order to become a higher level teaching assistant, you will need the support of your head teacher. They will assess your practice to determine your competence in line with the National Occupational Standards.
What are the National Occupational Standards?
The National Occupational Standards outline the knowledge that HLTA should possess and set out what they should be able to do. The following pages provide descriptions of each of these and are taken directly from the TDA National Occupational Standards for supporting teaching and learning in schools.
What do HLTAs do on a day-to-day basis?
Some of the ways that HLTAs support children, teachers and schools are by assessing the needs of children, supporting and encouraging relationships between children and their personal and educational environments, helping children and teachers set high expectations for children to boost performance and self-esteem, serving as a role model for children, supporting and promoting the use of inclusion, supporting and assisting in the development of individual educational plans, their IEPs, recognizing and reporting the individual needs of children, supporting and developing systems of rewards and consequences, supporting the organization and management of the learning environment, supporting the organization and management of learning resources, supporting the planning of teaching and learning objectives, assisting in the adjustment and redevelopment of lesson plans, performing assessments, documenting and reporting child achievements and progression, supporting in the follow-through and development of disciplinary systems and processes, assisting in the administering of tests and examinations, assisting in the development of teaching resources and tools, providing teaching and learning activities as directed and advised by the head teacher or supervisor, following local and national learning strategies for child development and learning, the effective use of information communication technology, ICT, the management of teaching assistants, serving as the point of contact between teaching assistants and supervisors and teachers, conducting regular meetings, serving as the representative of teaching assistants at high-level meetings, contributing to staff recruitment. HLTAs will also find themselves taking an active role in the teaching and instruction of children within the classroom under supervision. They will not be responsible for leading lessons, but may be required to supervise a class if the class teacher is unavailable or carry out small activities. In general, legislative guidelines will conclude that teaching involves activities that provide instruction through different methods, which include didactic approaches and experiential approaches. Through didactic approaches, HLTAs and education professionals that contribute to teaching may use methods that are formal and rely on the content of the syllabus and curriculum. Using this approach allows for very little deviation from the academic plan. The experiential approach allows for teachers to teach based on a hands-on approach and through first-hand experience in the subject. There are also teaching strategies that the HLTA may use to support learning and child development in school. However, teaching and learning strategies are commonly organic, meaning that they change, and the needs, abilities, and expectations of the community change. For example, the use of a small number of new teaching and learning strategies have begun to increase in popularity since 2009, including spaced learning. Spaced learning allows for short, specific, and narrow lessons that are administered to children on regular intervals throughout their program or lesson. Each lesson provides a different instruction and learning opportunity and allows for children to develop concentration skills as they become aware of these short, specific, narrow periods of lessons and feel the need to pay attention and stay aware or concentrate to be successful. Next, let's look at personal development. Your training as a teaching assistant does not end once you've completed the course. It is an ongoing process that will continue throughout your career. Senior management, classroom teachers, and support staff all regularly attend courses within teaching centres or in-house training at school, in which they're encouraged to look at their current methods of practice and ways in which they could improve. Evaluating your practice will be ongoing, and you are likely to have annual appraisals with a member of senior management to discuss your practice, development needs, and targets. Although this can seem daunting, asking for help or identifying areas of difficulty are not signs of weakness. It can help you to achieve your full potential as a practitioner and will enable you to develop ways to best meet the needs of your pupils.
How do we identify goals? What if I can't think of anything?
There will always be something that you should want to improve, whether it's something as simple as finding a method of remembering every child's name at the start of the new school year, or something more complex such as improving your subject knowledge, working towards promotion, and so on. You shouldn't rush it. Keep notes of things that you have found difficult, and then think of how you can work towards making them easier.
Okay, is there a specific way we should write up or present our goals? If we wanted to take them to a meeting, for example, or add them to our continuing professional development file.
To help you break down your goals and determine their importance, your goals for improvement should be SMART. S, specific. M, measurable. A, achievable. R, realistic. And T, timely.
I have an idea of my goals, but how do I set them out using SMART? I want to improve my understanding of special educational needs, SEN.
That's a good question. Let's have a look at SMART in more detail, and we'll go through an example. S, specific. This is the actual thing or goal you want to achieve. So in your example, you want to improve your understanding of SEN. This is specific. M, measurable. This is how you will measure if you've achieved the goal. What will have changed that tells you that you have met your goal? What can you do now? With the SEN example, it could be that you know now how to recognize the signs of an SEN, such as dyslexia, or that you know how to use different strategies for working with children with SEN. A, achievable. Is your goal achievable? How do you know this? Do you have the time available at the moment to work on achieving this goal? R, realistic. Is your goal relevant to you at the moment? Are you currently working with children with special educational needs? Will you be shortly? T, timely. By when do you want to achieve this goal? By the end of this term? By the end of the year?
Okay, so my SMART goal would look like this. Specific. I want to improve my understanding of special educational needs, particularly dyslexia, because I'll be working with a group of dyslexic pupils soon in maths. Measurable. I will know that I've achieved this when I can explain what dyslexia is, identify the signs of dyslexia, and be able to employ techniques to help my working with children who have dyslexia in maths. Achievable. I know that this is achievable because there's a training course coming up in 3 weeks. I've spoken to my line manager about completing the course, and they agree that this will be helpful. Realistic. From the start of next term, I'll be working in a lower ability maths group, so completing this course will help me for when this starts. Timely. As the course starts in 3 weeks and is only for 1 day, I will have achieved this in time for the start of next term.
Perfect. Whenever you identify areas for improvement, it is helpful to break down your goals in this way.
What should I do if I have quite a few goals?
It's not a problem. For each goal, set it out using SMART. You will have already identified in the timely section when you need to have achieved your goal by, so you can then organize your goals according to priority. Those which need to be achieved soonest at the top, working down towards those in which you have more time.
How often should I identify my goals?
Personal development is an ongoing process. You should set regular time aside to identify how you are progressing and where you need to improve. As I explained previously, it would be helpful to write down the times when you find something difficult because this will help you identify your goals. You should also write down when things went well. Make a note of what you were doing, what was good about it. Doing this will help you keep a balanced view of your work. To summarize today, we have looked at what an HLTA is, what they do, National Occupational Standards, personal development. Goodbye, class.